Hey guys, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game about digging up bones in a cemetery to complete your evil science project called Degrees in Darkness. Would have been better if I would have had the lights off, but then the camera couldn't see. It would have been an ordeal. So pretend like it's dark. Degrees in Darkness is a 2 to 4 player game from Weird Giraffe Games where players are trying to, this sounds terrible, but you're trying to dig through the cemetery to collect spare parts to complete your project. You're in some kind of wizard or magic school, and these may be science projects. You're trying to bring a dead guy back to life, reanimate. That seems pretty serious. But in order to do that, you got to have the appropriate parts and pieces. So that's where the cemetery comes in. So it's a little bit of push your luck when you're playing in the cemetery, because you never know what you're going to get. You know how I feel about push your luck. I'm a huge fan. So that's enough talking. I don't want to spoil it. Let's just go down to the table. See how it plays out. All right, so here's a game of Degrees in Darkness, all set up for 2 players. To set up, you're going to lay out the board like this. You're going to have the 4 phases of the moon, which are going to be basically the phase tracker. The semester tracker, which is going to show you kind of how you're going to set up these, what are they called? I don't know what these are called. Projects, the project cards. Have the extra projects up here. So 1, 2, and 3, there's 3 different levels. Some points, some extra stock, which are candles, and I don't know what that is. Like a jar or something. Oh, vial, it says it right on it. And then you're going to put out the grave card, the cemetery cards, and you're going to flip 2 or make 3 piles of 2 face down, and you're going to give each player this kind of starting setup. So each player is going to get a research grant. You're going to get 2 level 1s that you can keep and pick from, and you're going to have a couple thesis that you can pick from, which are going to kind of look something like this. Things that you're trying to get during the game. So I want to do this, and that's it. Once I fulfill that at the end, we'll go, and then first player will get this. And I've also laid out the other cards that other people have, and that's a breakdown of the cards that are in the game. So we'll go ahead and get started. The game's pretty easy. On your turn, you're going to take 1 of 4 possible actions. The actions are, you can see them over there as well, but they are dig, which is going to let me dig through the cemetery to try to find parts to complete my project. I'm going to be able to buy, which means I can discard cards from my hand to buy stock, extra projects, so on and so forth. I could cram, which means I could take 2 cards in my hand and commit it to the project. What I'm trying to do is get a vial and 2 bones to complete this project for a special ability and some points. Or I can do a project action, which means once I have the card completed, if it has a special ability that I can use during my turn, I can use that. And we're going to take 4 turns in a round, and then we're going to move on and set up. I'm probably going to play through a round just so I can kind of show you what you're going to do and set up, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's go ahead and go. So this player's first because they have the awesome little Lego skeleton, which is pretty sweet. All right, so they want to dig. We got to get some cards. They're going to try to find bones and a vial. So this is kind of a pressure luck piece of the game where I'm going to be looking through these piles, and I can either take all of it or pass up on it and add a card and try to go on to the next one. If I get to the end before I find anything, I either get one of these or I can take a card at the top. So I'm going to look at these. So I got a ring and a mushroom. I don't need that. So I'll just flip these back down, add another card, and then let's see what we got here. I want bones. That's a bone and a worm. Yeah, I'll keep that one. So I'll go ahead and keep that one. I'll put this in my hand. So these are in my hand right here, these cards. The research grant is double-sided, so, but it's in my hand. Then what I'm going to do is if I take a pile, I will put 1 card back out, so there's always something to look at. And that's my turn. Then it'll be the other player's turn. They're going to kind of do the same thing because you got to have stuff to start making your project. So they're going to flip over this pile. A ring, a mushroom, and a nightcrawler. They kind of like that. They need a mushroom. So they'll go ahead and take this one. Put that in their hand right there, and then they'll bring another one out. All right. So that is the action phase of round 1. Then we come here, which is going to take us to the commit phase. So I showed you cram. Cram is going to let you put 2 cards under a project. Commit is basically a free version of cram that everybody gets to do. So you can look through your cards and you can put cards to the left that match. So I'm going to put these bones here. So now I'm going to have 1 bone towards my project. This is irrelevant because it doesn't need that one. It only needs the bone. Nothing else that I have is useful. So I'm just going to hold on to those for now. And that's it. Then this player, what do they have? They need a mushroom and a vial. They have a mushroom. So they'll go ahead and tuck the mushroom under here. Like so. And then they will hold on to that. All right. So now we're moving on to this one. The third phase is we can complete any projects when all the materials are on it. We don't have all the materials, so we cannot complete any projects. If I would have completed 1, 2, or 3, whatever, I could complete them all at this point. We didn't do that, so now we're going to move on to full moon. And we're going to take actions again. So actions, starting with me. I need some more bones and a vial. I don't really want to dig. I'm going to spend my research grant. And I'm going to do a buy action. So I'm going to spend $5, and I can buy any of these or any of these that I want. So let's see here. What do I have in my hand? I have a worm. Is there anything I have that needs a worm? Okay, so I'm going to buy this. This will cost me $2. I'll put it here so I know that I'm working on this one. Then this one will get refilled. And I know I need a vial and a candle. I have $5. So let's go ahead and take a vial because I'm working on that one. So that's 4. I have $1 left, so I might as well buy another one. So I'm going to buy another project. We're going to start running out of room, so this is where it gets a little hairy here. Let's do this. Put this up here. Put this over here. All right, so we're running out of room, but that's fine. So I use my research grant, then we'll refill this, and that was my turn. So I did a buy. Spent $5, about $5 worth of things. I bought this for 2, this for 1, and my vial for 2. So that was my turn. This player, they kind of want to get some more cards, maybe. They don't need the Nightcrawler. All right, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and discard both of these. So they're going to discard an urn and a Nightcrawler. The discard will be over here next to this right there. And that's $4. So they're going to buy this card. It's a candle. I'll put this off screen. It's fine. We're going to focus on this one. And then they also need a vial to be able to complete this, so they're going to buy a vial. The vial has been purchased. All right, so that's it. That's their turn. Now we can commit. We're going to commit 2 cards. Let's see. That's my thesis. I don't need that right now. So I'm going to commit a vial because I need to have a vial here. So I'll commit this vial. And then they, same thing. They're going to commit a vial. This has been a long turn to get a project completed. You can only commit 1 because we only have 1 card to commit. Then we can go here to complete. We cannot complete, so we'll move on to here. Now we can take an action again. You know what? I'm going to dig in the library, in the graveyard. Let's see. Maybe I can get a bone. Nope, don't want that. So that one gets a card added. And again, I wouldn't flip it because I don't want that player seeing it, but just for you guys, you can see it. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm going to go ahead and take this one. So I'm going to take this bone. What else do I have? I have a worm. That's awesome. I could have signed that worm here. Idiot. That's fine. All right. So then I'll put another card down. That was my turn. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to see what's in this pile. So they have a mushroom and a worm. They need the mushroom, so they're going to take these, which is good for them. Put a new card here. Then we're going to move over to commit. I can commit 2 cards, so I'm going to commit a worm here. Maybe. So a worm here. And I'm not going to show you this player's other cards. I'll kind of focus on mine a little more. And I want to put a bone here. Okay. And they have 2 cards. They're only going to commit the mushroom. So they will commit the mushroom here. Like that. All right. So we committed. Now we're going to be able to complete. So I can complete this one. So when you're completing, you're going to take the cards. If they're graveyard cards, you're going to put them in the graveyard discard pile. If there are any bonuses, some of these cards have plus or minus bonuses. They would be up here, be like a +1 or -1. You would get extra points or deductions added, but in this case, I don't have any of that, so that goes back. These will get discarded. Now, when I complete this project, I'm going to get a new action. So this says, after a neighbor completes a buy action, which means you're spending cards to buy some stuff out here, I get to do a thing. I'm not going to keep focus on that during this playthrough, but if you were playing the game, you would look at that, pay attention to your neighbor, and keep all that. So I'll tuck this because it's completed, and this one is now worth 2 points. So I have 2 points. Now this player, they're going to complete this one as well. Same deal. Graveyard cards get discarded. And stock cards go back to the stockpiles. And then when they discard this one, when they complete this one, they'll flip it. They get an instant bonus of drawing 4 cards. It says right there, which is pretty sweet. So they're going to go ahead and complete this one. They'll draw 4 cards, and you draw the 4 cards from right here. So they're going to have a nice little bonus of cards in their hand. So they drew all these cards, which is pretty nice. So they got a lot more symbols that they can work with. All right, so that was the end of that. Now we're going to go to the final turn in the round. Back to this player. I don't have any cards in my hand. Oh, I have a worm. I take that back. I have a worm, I think. Nope, they have a worm. So they have lots of cards. I have no cards. I need to get a candle and a worm. I don't know if I can do both of those at this time. So I will just dig. I'm just going to skip over these two because I want to get more than one card. So we can see what we got here. We have a worm and a ring. That's fine. I'll take these. I need another worm. And then we'll put one right here. So now the graveyard is getting recycled through. We got more options. And they need a candle and a claw. So let's see. Let's go ahead and they're going to discard a mushroom and a nightcrawler to buy a candle. So they'll discard that. They'll take the candle, put it in their hand. All right, now we can commit 2 cards again. So I'm going to commit just a mushroom. Oh, and that player did a buy, so I'll actually use this. I get to take a stock card, so I'm going to go ahead and take a candle, which will let me put my second card here, and I'll be able to complete this in a second, which is pretty nice. All right. So then they have a whole pile of cards, and they need a claw and a candle. So we're only going to put the candle down, and we're not going to be able to complete anything right now. All right, so then we'll move on to the completion, and we will. Oh, I made a mess of that. So I can complete this guy. So these 2 graveyard cards will get discarded. The vial will go back, and then take 1 card from the discard pile. So when I complete that, I get to take 1 card from the discard pile. So I'm going to look through here and try to take something that I can use for that guy. Is there a claw in here? And there it is. So I'm going to take that claw. The limbs technically. So I'm going to take that and put it in my hand. All right, they can't complete anything, so that's it. So now we've reached the end. What we're going to do here, it's all broken down on these cards, which you can also see over here. Advance the term token. So we're going to do this. We're going to go to term 2. Then we're going to pass the first player. So this player will now be first player. Then we're going to remove the left column of market and slide and fill. So all of these will go away. These will slide over. And then we're going to basically fill according to this. So we should have, whoops, that's not right. Sorry. I always do that wrong. You refill with a level that's there. So we'll have a level 1 and 2 level 2s. Like that. All right. And then we're going to reset moon token. This is going to come back here. And then we're going to add 1 card to each pile. So it's going to make the graveyard a little bit better, which is pretty nice. All right, so then you're going to do this for 3 more rounds. So we're on the 2nd term right now. We'll get the 3rd term, and at the end of the 4th term, we're going to add up points. You're going to get points for all the points you have here. The decree that if you've met the goal of your decree, you'll get those points. And you're going to get points for any of these tokens that you have on top of your project. So like if I had this +1, this would be worth 3. But if for some reason it was a negative, it would be worth -1. And that's how you're going to play this game. I may have missed a few of the final scoring rules, but that's the gist of it. There may be a couple, like 1 or 2 more things that I forgot to mention. But mostly it's your projects, these extra things, and this guy. So that's it. That's Degrees in Darkness. Let's go up to the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Degrees in Darkness. First off, I didn't say this up at the top. I always forget because I'm professional. And this is a prototype. So everything you see here or you saw in the video or saw in the playthrough, this is the video. I'm dumb. Everything you saw in the playthrough is a prototype component. So these markers are erasers. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be erasers. This box, I was told, is going to be a little bigger to hold stuff better because it's a little tight. Some of the other cards may have some different art, and the first player marker is not going to be Legos. I don't think Lego would like that too much. So yeah, so for this video we have a Lego skeleton. That being said, let's talk about this game. So this is a pretty simple, straightforward game. You're trying to gather resources to complete projects. So for this project, I need a claw and a candle. Once I get those pieces, I can complete my project. It'll either come back to life, it'll have a different type of a build, like a different category, like maybe reanimation, sorcery, alchemy, stuff like that. And I'm trying to collect different types of those spells. I'm trying to collect certain levels of those spells to complete my thesis. So for this one, I want to complete 4 projects from the tier 2. So I don't care what they are. They can be reanimation, sorcery, I don't care. I need them to be tier 2 to score 7 points. So you're just trying to collect the goods to fulfill your contract or your project to score the most points. The interesting thing here is the cemetery. Now, I mentioned push your luck up at the top, and you know I'm a sucker for push your luck. I can't help it. It's just so fun. It's just so satisfying. I'm digging through these cards. I see these 3 cards here. I don't know what they are, but I want to know. So then I take them and I look at them, and I think, a ring, a mushroom, and a skull. It's worth an extra point. I don't need that now, but I might. But I might not. Do I want to pass up on this and know there's an extra point in there and go on to the next pile and maybe there's nothing in there that I need? So satisfying. I don't know if it came off as well in the video, but the cemetery dig is definitely the best part. So this is a fun game. It's enjoyable. It's fairly light. A lot of Weird Giraffe games are pretty light. They're family friendly. Everybody can play them. Everybody can have a good time. And they don't take 3-4 hours. You can bang this out in about 30-45 minutes. Not that bad. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's kind of cool to get into the theme, and you know, I guess it's dark and macabre, but you can get into the theme and pretend like you're actually there digging up bones, bringing your zombie or your skeleton back to life. It's fun. It's a good time. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal, and I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 3.75 out of 5 on our arbitrary wrench scale that means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it to games that we enjoy, because that's what this channel is about. Talking about games, having fun, and making people feel good, because it's 2020 and 2020 is 2020. So I'm not going to talk about this that much more. It's going to be hitting Kickstarter, I think, in October. I'm not sure the exact date, but stay tuned to our Facebook page or whatever. I'll post some announcements when it gets closer. I'll reshare the video. And once the project is live, it will have a link in the video description. So if you're interested and want to throw it some support, you can click on that. So that's Degrees in Darkness from Weird Giraffe. I am Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.